Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in and welcome to the D6 Small Business Virtual Summit. My name's Elaine Dusetzina. Grateful to be a part of this summit, and I'd like to extend a special thanks to the D6 team who organized this amazing event and bringing us together as business owners to give and receive support to each other. If anything, that's what we need right now is support. Today I'll be speaking on a topic that's near and dear to my heart, which is self-care. I've learned to value self-care more after having my kids and also experiencing the other end of it where I wasn't taking very good care of myself, seeing that impact my health. So it's an honor to be speaking on this topic today. Let me start with these two contrasting images. And I'm going to ask you, who would you rather be at the end of the day? Would you rather be the person to your left? She looks like she's had a rough day. She looks tired, exhausted, highly stressed, and maybe even on the verge of burnout. Or would you rather be the two people to your right here? They look like they're excited, they're full of energy, and looks like they had a satisfying day. I'm going to take a guess that you would like to end your day satisfied and fulfilled. And if you stick with me for the next 30 minutes, I'm going to share with you what may be the missing ingredients to make your day a successful and productive one. And it's based on a foundation of self-care habits to help you win the day. Before we dig into the topics, just a little bit about me. Like I said, my name's Elaine Dusetzina. Going off the top, my core values, I'm a woman of faith. God is my rock. He has been present in my life since I was a kid, and I'm grateful to him. I praise him for leading me to where I'm at today. Family is important to me, meaningful relationships, and I value service and also being a lifelong learner. I'm a Navy veteran. I served in the Navy for 11 years. That's where I met my husband, who was also currently serving. He stayed in to 20 years, retired. I got out at 11, became a stay-at-home mom. And we're a family of 5, 2 girls and a dog. We love going on outdoor adventures. Just this past month, we went up to Montana and had a chance to visit Glacier National Park. And I think we've been making it a yearly vacation to visit national parks. So it's an awesome thing to do. Now I'm a health and wellness coach. My company is Evoke Strong, and I've made it my mission to help fellow women veteran leaders implement a lifestyle routine to take charge of their health and prevent chronic disease. Here are the topics I'm going to focus on today. I'm going to start with why. Why is it important for us as business leaders to prioritize self-care? Then we'll talk about the self-care habits that would help feed your energy, that would increase your productivity, and finish it with how to implement self-care as part of your daily routine. So we're all on the same page. Let's define what self-care is. And I like this definition. It's the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well-being and happiness. As you can see, I highlighted a few words there. The first one is practice. Practice meaning it's not about perfection. I'm sure you've heard of the saying, practice means progress, and that's where we learn and grow from our experience. I've also heard the saying, practice means permanence, and I think about practicing a musical instrument where we become more proficient when we practice. So the practice is taking an active role. active role is taking action, being conscious of the choices that we make. And this leads to protecting, preserving, perhaps even improving one's own well being and happiness. Well being in terms of the whole well being, not just physical, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual well being. So, once again, self care is the practice of taking an active role in protecting one's own well being and happiness. Now, with that definition in mind, let's start with why. Why do you need to prioritize self care as business leaders? I think this quote by Eleanor Brown answers that question. Rest and self care are so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. And I repeat, you cannot serve from an empty vessel. And as business owners, that's hard for us to do. We've committed ourselves to serve others. And it's more than likely that you spend a lot of your time to ensure that your clients or your customers are receiving a high quality of service. However, like what Eleanor Brown said, when much of your time is spent selflessly serving others, inevitably you become drained. And that can lead to stress, that can lead to overwhelm, getting sick, maybe even burning out. And it takes away from you being able to serve your best. So, speaking of stress, here's a pop quiz for you. And this is the question: what percentage of small business owners reported to have above average stress? If you guessed 57%, you are correct. This was an article in entrepreneur.com said that 50%, 57% of business owners reported experiencing above average stress. And this equated to a dollar loss of $41 billion. And that's due to people coming into work and they're being unproductive, or people not coming to work, and other productivity losses because of stress. We know that high levels of stress has been known to affect energy, mood. You're less likely to focus and you become more distracted when you're experiencing high levels of stress. It also dampens your creativity, and it just impacts your overall health. It's also been reported that about 80% of doctors' visits are stress related. So when you're in a chronic state of high stress, it can lead to exhaustion and burnout. And who better to know about burnout than Arianna Huffington? If you don't know who she is, she's the co-founder of Huffington Post. She's been named as the top 100 most influential people by Time. She's also the CEO of Thrive Global, New York Times bestseller. This is one of her books that's a New York Times bestseller, which is called Thrive. And she has plenty of accolades, which she worked hard to achieve. But in 2007 was when she had her wake-up call. And she opens this, and in her book, she opens up with her story of how she woke up in a pool of blood with a cut eye and a broken cheekbone. This was because she fell and hit a desk in her office. And after that, she went through a lot of exams, a lot of doctor's exams to figure out what caused it. And they determined that it was due to exhaustion. She's been working 18-hour days every single day. And that's what led her to that wake-up call. So this made her question the definition of success and what that meant to her. She had the money and the power, yet she was unfulfilled with her life. So she wrote this book to talk about redefining success beyond money and power. And that third metric she's talking about is this focusing on this four factors, which is well-being, wisdom, wonder, and willing to give. And Arianna became invested in her well-being, and she ended up cutting her work hours so that she's getting enough sleep. It's also what led her to start Thrive Global in 2016. And Thrive Global's mission is to end the burnout epidemic with sustainable science-based solutions that unlock employee performance and enhance well-being. So here's my simple answer to this question of why we need to prioritize self-care as business leaders. It leads to success. It leads to long-term success. And not just in terms of money and power, but also a life that's thriving, where you feel fulfilled and satisfied. Of course, I understand we're all individuals, and coming up with your why is important. It's what would drive you to take care of yourself, is just having that personal why. So I encourage you to spend some time doing that, doing some reflection and knowing what your why is, why it's important for you to take care of yourself. Now we're going to shift gears and look at the types of self-care habits that would feed your energy. What can you practice that would protect, perhaps improve your well-being and happiness? I bet you already know what you need to do to nourish your body, to nourish your mind, and to nourish your spirit. So this will hopefully be just a quick review for you. This is a summary of the different types of behaviors, self-care behaviors. And this is based on the training and education I've received as a health and wellness coach. So in summary, it's eat well, moving well, rest, which is sleeping well, breathe, which is handling stress or healthy stress relief, connecting well with others, and love. And let me talk about each area just briefly. First one is to eat well. I love this short and succinct quote by Michael Pollan from his book In Defense of Food. Eat food, not too much, mostly plants. We need to focus on eating unprocessed whole foods, fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds, beans, legumes, all of this beautiful plants that is available to us. As a nation, we don't eat enough. In fact, only 10% of Americans eat the recommended 2 to 3 cups of vegetables daily. And the nutrients that we need for brain function and energy are derived from eating a variety of these whole foods. So when you make a food choice, I encourage you to ask yourself, does this food truly nourish me? Is it what I need? And see if that helps you make healthier choices. Next is to move well. This is about movement and exercise. And there's been numerous studies of how exercise can increase our mental well-being, how it's a great stress reliever, how it boosts our energy and mood, and also improves our productivity because it increases our alertness and concentration. I know this is what my go-to is whenever I need an energy boost. I like to either go for a walk with my dog or do a quick yoga session in the middle of the day, or even just a set of push-ups. Any type of movement that wakes me up. And I encourage you also to come up with creative ways to move your body. Doesn't matter as long as you're moving more than sitting. Don't skimp on sleep. Let me tell you, when I don't get enough sleep, I'm pretty much useless for the day. I can't concentrate, I'm not in a good mood, and I can't shake off the tiredness. According to a CDC study, that in America, 1 in 3 don't get enough sleep, and enough is at least 7 hours a day. And sleep is so important for our cognitive function. And Sean Stevenson, oh, I don't have his book here. I didn't have his book ready. Anyway, Sean Stevenson, I'm a big fan of his book, Sleep Better. And he's also a podcaster, one of my favorite health podcasters. But he talks about the importance of the quality of sleep in addition to the quantity. So he says high quality sleep fortifies your immune system, balances your hormones, boosts your metabolism, increases physical energy, and improves the function of your brain. And if you want the biggest bang for the buck, just replace your late nighttime show binge with sleep. But it's easier said than done, right? Next, we have healthy stress relief, and I have the 3 options for you to choose from. I'm going to credit the book Changing to Thrive for providing the stress relief strategies, and these terms makes it easy: relaxing, walking, or talking. I know for myself that when I'm feeling, when I'm starting to feel that stress, the easiest way to help my body relax is through breath. And I can just take a step back and mindfully take deep, slow breaths. I know that's what I did right before hitting record on this video presentation. Other forms of relaxation may be meditation or yoga or journaling, and even walking can be a form of relaxation. But walking, exercise are also ways to relieve stress. We talked about that already. And talking with friends, with family, even a coach or a therapist, someone that can give you support when you're going through a tough time. Which leads me to the importance of having a strong social connection. People need to have a sense of belonging and connection with others, and this is a core psychological need. Having positive social connections satisfies our emotional and spiritual well-being. I also think it's important to have to be connected to something that's greater than ourselves and that gives us purpose. I know right now it's more difficult to make the in-person connections, but I think we're starting to figure out how to do this via technology. And but then there's the other side of it, the importance of disconnecting, and that's disconnecting with your devices. Excuse me, disconnecting with devices when we get caught up in social media and just scrolling, just doing the scrolling. That's actually something that would degrade take away from our well-being. So it's something that we have to think about. And lastly is to love well, as it's proclaimed in 1 Corinthians 16:14. Let all you do be done in love. And this is all encompassing, is about loving yourself. That's in the form of self-care, loving others, doing things in your life that you love. And for me, for my spirit, it's loving God and understanding His great love for us. So again, I think many of you already know what type of self-care feeds your energy, and hopefully that was a useful review. And as individuals, some behaviors may give us more of an energy boost than others. So there may be particular things that are more draining to you, and there may be things that give you more of a boost. So let's do this exercise, a little bit of reflection here, and ask yourself, look at the energy drains and ask yourself the top 3 things from this list that drains your energy. If you ask me, that would be poor sleep, stress, and I would check other, which is social media use. I know it's like that necessary evil, but when I'm spend too much time on social media, I can feel my energy just it just goes down. And on the other side are energy boosters. So ask yourself the same thing, the top 3 things that boost your energy. For me, that's regular exercise, healthy stress relief, doing fun activities, and having healthy personal relationships. With those in mind, let's go to the next topic, which is how are we going to implement the self-care behaviors as part of your daily routine? And this is where the challenge comes in as we figure out how we can take an active role to practicing this self-care behaviors. So if you are asked what's the biggest barrier, one of the biggest barriers people have when it comes to self-care, it's time. And this Harris poll shows that 44% believe self-care is only possible for people with enough time. Well, the good news is you don't have to go out of your way to implement many of these behaviors. They can be weaved into your lifestyle. It just becomes a part of your everyday routine. So with time as the biggest barrier, I'd like to do a self-monitoring exercise of your time, and that's basically tracking the activities you normally do each day. So it increases, that's a way to increase not self-awareness, but increases your awareness where you spend your time the most and when might be possible for you to include those self-care behaviors. So this is kind of a busy slide here, and I've done here is what I've done here is a simple scenario of a 24-hour day. And I know as business owners with kids and family, our lives aren't as simple. But if you think about it, what takes up the biggest chunk of our time is sleep and work. So in this scenario, here's a person who is getting enough hours of sleep, at least 7 hours. So she's in bed by 10 p.m. and up at 5 a.m. and then works about 10 hours from 8 to 5. And I've read that 82% of business owners, the average work hours is 10 hours. So as you can see, I've labeled here where might be ideal blocks of time that's possible for you to practice self-care, or for this person to practice self-care. In the morning after eating, not after eating, after waking up, and the evening before going to bed. And there's also possibilities or opportunities where you can find, do some self-care during work and while you're taking a break. So if we were to brainstorm some ideas on what to do as part of your morning or evening or even your workday self-care routine, here are several ideas I've listed. Just some examples of entrepreneurs who have morning routines. Arianna Huffington has included meditation and exercise, as well as gratitude as part of her morning routine. And in the evening, she definitely makes a point to turn off her devices. Tim Ferriss, that's who I took the idea from of the phrase win the day. He's a big proponent of morning routines as a way to maximize productivity. So his morning routine includes making his bed, meditation, drinking tea, journaling, exercise, and a small breakfast. So as far as evening routines, I recommend that the book by Sean Stevenson, Sleep Better, for a list of strategies. But some of the things he mentioned are turning off devices, and that's so important to turn off devices at least an hour before bed. Another hard thing to do for many of us. And other things that he has in that book is relaxation, connection with loved ones, light reading. Those are things that would help you get quality sleep at night. And during the workday, is it possible to take 5 to 10 minute breaks so you can do some movement, maybe even do some breath work, go outside and get some sunshine, get some fresh air, and to maybe connect with other people who work with you. Just many different options here. And I know this sounds like a lot, but again, you don't have to do everything all at once. I'm sure you've heard of the saying, small steps lead to big results. So think about what is that one small step for you that you can take today. And perhaps that's tracking your day to find out where that block of time is where you can practice self-care. So let me end with this quote from Arianna Huffington, and this is from an interview she did with Tim Ferriss for his book Tribe of Mentors. And this is what her answer was, what she was going to put on a big billboard. It's burnout is not the price you have to pay for success. And she goes on to say that so much of the world is still living under the collective delusion that they have to choose between their own well-being and success. Science tells us the complete opposite. When we prioritize our well-being, our performance goes up across the board. Nothing impairs the quality of your decisions faster than running on empty. So, ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to fill your vessel, to practice self-care, nurture your well-being so you're able to serve your family, your community, your clients, your customers in the best way possible. And with that being said, I appreciate you again taking the time out of your day to be a part of the summit. If you have any questions, please hang around. We have a Q&A session right after this presentation. If you would like to contact me, the best way is via email. My email is on there, my website. I would appreciate if you can connect with me or follow me, give me some love on Facebook and Instagram at Evoke Strong. And also, if you need any help with turning your wellness intentions into action, I have a guide for you, and you can grab a copy of my guide by clicking on that link or going to that link. And to viewers today, I am, well, if you sign up for this guide, I will be entering you into a raffle to win Arianna Huffington's book, Thrive. So again, thank you so much, and I hope to see you at the Q&A. Thanks.